Hello, Journey family and friends. Welcome to Midweek Conversations, joined by Pastor Dustin Agard.
Good to have y'all today, and we got a special guest.
Yeah, Pastor Harvey Carpenter joining us today.
Yeah, glad to be with you guys.
Yep,
good to have you, Pastor Harvey.
Good to have you, Pastor Harvey. Pastor Harvey's our online campus pastor, and more.
Yeah,
and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But we're glad to have you joining us. Just a couple weeks out from Christmas, guys.
Yep, we are.
So hopefully everybody's done. I mean, you've made your Amazon orders, because that's how Christmas happens now, right?
That's how you do it.
Everybody's made their Amazon orders, and they're going to get here in time, right?
We hope.
That's exactly right. Your prayer life will go up in December.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
Good.
And if you haven't been told this yet, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones, and glad that you're tuning in.
I ordered something on Amazon last week, and they delivered it between 4 and 8 a.m. the next day. I mean, literally the next day.
Wow.
On it.
Yeah,
so
they're on it.
They're no kidding, they really are. All right, so a few things we want to talk about as Pastor Harvey joins us. First of all, we want to talk a little bit about Missions 2022. Missions 2022 is our initiative to really prepay and pre-fund all of our mission partners, projects, and support for next year, for 2022. And I hope you've been able to check out some of the videos.
Yes.
Then Pastor Harvey reached out to all of our mission partners and asked them to send a video in. And if you haven't seen those are great.
They are. We've got 23 mission partners, and we reached out to each one of them a few weeks ago and asked them to provide for us just a real brief video highlighting their mission, who they are, what they do, and how we've been able to partner with them the last few years, and how that partnership has really helped them to impact the world. And we've got a lot of great videos back. And so every week, or actually every day in the month of December, we're posting one of those on our social media, and we're getting great response. And they've sent some really good videos, and it's good for people to get to see who our mission partners are.
Yeah, and that's why we do it, just so you can know. When we give, and it's an investment in our missions ministry. Who are we investing that money in, and what are they doing? And it's been really good. So. Been great to see.
Yep. So with that said, if you don't follow us on social media, this is a great way to understand what's in the life of Journey. And so all those have been posted on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, and so and they're on YouTube. I believe a lot of what we do is on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. That's how you're watching this. And so want to encourage you, if you're wondering what that's all about, you go check that out. Like, follow, support, encourage.
I will say too that we're going to eventually post all of the videos on our website as well.
Great.
So there'll be a link right on our website.
Yeah.
You can go watch every one of the videos.
Yeah, well, it's important to us that at Journey that we don't just give money to missions. We really want there to be a partnership.
Yeah.
And that's taken a little bit of a hit over the last 2 years because we couldn't travel. We've not been able to go on mission trips. I know we have at least one. Scheduled?
We have one scheduled for this coming summer, the end of July. We're planning on going to Hacienda El Refugio, which is a mission partner we have in Ecuador. Jim and Susie Olson are the missionaries there. They've been to Journey a time or two, and we really love them. And we're going to send a team down there this summer. We're super excited about that.
They sent us a video?
We will be getting a video from them, yes.
Good. All right, good deal.
and so one of the reasons we're talking about missions, I don't think you've shared this yet, is some of you might be wondering, who is our missions pastor? Do we have a missions pastor on our team? You're looking at them.
That's right.
We are a missions team.
That's right.
We're the M team. Maybe not the A team, but we're the M team. Yeah. And so what we do is we meet monthly, the three of us, and we all have relational kind of partners that we connect with to make sure how can we pray for our mission partners, how can we support, encourage, and they check in. And so so some of you may not have been aware, we are the ones that help connect with them and kind of help facilitate that.
I don't know if it's a good thing we told them that or a bad thing, because we may get more requests now.
That's right.
But I did want people to know that, and I tell you why, because I was meeting with someone that loves Journey and very generous in supporting Journey, and I was talking to them about Missions 2022, and asking them to consider making a generous gift for that. And they had some bad experience with mission support in a previous church. And then so the gentleman asked, he said, who decides missions? I said, well, you're looking at him. I said, myself, Pastor Dustin, Pastor Harvey. He said, wow, really? He said, the three of you? I said, yeah. So, I mean, he said, well, I mean, that's like the top guys at the church that are really, I said, well, we take this seriously. And we all have a heart for missions. And so it is important that people know that. This is not a committee somewhere, or it's the three of us that at least at this point, where we sit down and just talk about how do we want to support missions and how we appropriate and how we distribute things.
One of the things I'm really proud about with regard to the missions is the variety of kinds of missions that we support.
Exactly, yeah.
Everything from foreign missions to local church plants. We have all kinds of mission partners.
And we've got some great partners, and you get a sense of that when you watch these videos of Missions 2022 and some new ones that are coming on. Our church plant down in West Palm Beach with Jamie Snyder. We're very excited about that. Sunday, if you didn't get to see it, our partnership with Johnson University and how that is developing, and so we're excited about that.
Yeah. Just had a phone call just last week from one of our mission partners, TCM.
Oh, yeah.
And they called.
David Roadcup.
David Roadcup called, and someone that we've been financially supporting for a little bit, and just got a letter from us, and he just wanted to pick up the phone, and the letter was basically reinstating our commitment to 2022, and let them know, hey, we're with you, we're for you, and excited. And he just picked up the phone and called us and said, man, we are so grateful. He said, let me tell you what God's done. And so if my memory corrects me, I think they had 800 students, and they went in the middle of a pandemic. And so what they are, Pastor John, you can fill them in a little bit more. They are a leadership training, basically a seminary. And is it Austria?
Yeah, their headquarters for decades has been in Austria, but now they've kind of moved into some regional campuses in those former Soviet countries.
Hard to reach places.
Very, very difficult to get into. And most of the pastors they're training are bivocational. They're not full-time in ministry. They have to do something else. So when these guys or gals come to be trained, I mean, it's a big investment for them.
It is.
And as they go, and I was privileged to go over there and do a little work with them. And these are high caliber people.
Yeah. And they went from 800 students, if I'm not mistaken, he said, to 1,500 students in the pandemic. And now they're in 55 different countries.
Oh, wow.
55 countries because of the support you're doing. Those are the things. And he just said, hey, listen, you couldn't send this letter at a better time because of all that God is doing. And so he just expressed his gratitude, and I wanted to send that to y'all as well.
And the way missions are connected in ways we don't even understand. So another mission we support is the Kazakhstan church, where the Pastor Randy planted many years ago in a house over there that looks after kids. But one of the pastors from Kazakhstan is in TCM seminary.
Isn't that cool?
Wow. That is really cool.
So Pastor Sasha is being trained.
That's awesome.
With TCM.
Yep. That's really cool. I should say David Roadcup's video has already been posted online, so take an opportunity to go check out his update. And my understanding is he's going to be in Florida in January. So maybe we'll have an opportunity to visit with him.
Yeah. So really important. And again, the goal of Mission 2022 is 500,000. That will cover all the mission partners, the new projects, the things that we don't even know might happen. We always try to create some room for that. Serve days, benevolence ministry. We help a lot of folks right from our own congregation. And so that's what all that covers. So let's talk a little bit about moving from that to the new sermon series that you kicked off this past week. Great job, Dustin. Christmas soundtracks. Love the concept, love the idea, a little double meaning about the music, but yet the soundtrack in your mind. That was really good, Dustin. And if you haven't seen that, I encourage you to look at the YouTube link here and watch the message or listen to the podcast from this past week.
I think for me, after kicking it off this weekend, I think there were just so many people that talked that overthinking really is a thing. And so many more of us do overthink about things that aren't healthy. And so how do we train the soundtrack? And so so just good to see, hey, we're all in the same boat. We're all just trying to lean in God's word a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I talked to so many people after the message that said it was so helpful to their lives. Just, you said so many good things that just help people think through, really what it is they need to focus on. And what are the soundtracks they need to turn down, and then turning up the voice of God. That's what people said to me, and you had some great words.
That was a great statement that the Pastor Dustin made. It's not a switch that you flip on and off. They're like knobs that you
like dials,
dials exactly, that you turn up and down. That is so true and so good, and turning up the voice of God.
So this weekend we talked, Do You Hear What I Hear?
Yeah.
So we kicked it off Christmas soundtracks. Do You Hear What I Hear? Great song. And then this next week we got Pastor John Hampton this Sunday going to kick it off with?
We're going to do a little Blue Christmas. I'll have a Blue Christmas.
Yes.
And I know you're waiting for me to do the little Elvis song.
We're hoping.
But you may have to come and see.
This is a family show,
happens.
no hip moving.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least they'll block it out from
right.
here up. The hips down, you can't see. Actually, the three of us are doing this message series, which is always fun when we do a kind of a team approach to a series. So Pastor Dustin doing the first week, I'm doing this week, and you're doing the third week.
I'm doing the third week, and the song for the third week is "Oh Holy Night," which is a very traditional, popular, well-loved Christmas carol hymn, and I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be great. It's going to be good.
Yeah. So that's coming up on the third week, but this week is Blue Christmas. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the background of Blue Christmas, and obviously it opens itself up. Well, one of the things that I learned as I did a little research on it, the guy that wrote it, White Christmas had just come out, and it was really popular. And he thought, what's the other side of a White Christmas?
Interesting.
Oh, that's neat.
And he thought of Blue Christmas.
Yeah.
And he wrote it from a jilted lover's viewpoint. And which opens the door to the other side of Christmas, and that's part of what we want to talk about. I was at the Lake County campus this past Sunday, and we did something special out there to honor Pastor Roddy Connor, who is stepping off of our staff at the end of the year. But Pastor Russell Cushman, our new Lake County campus pastor, and if you haven't got to meet Pastor Russell, I hope you do. He's
great guy.
We're so grateful that he's here, and God just sent us just a winner. But he shared very vulnerably about Christmas is a struggle for him because of what he's been through in his childhood and how he grew up. And that's one of those things when, it's the most wonderful time of the year, the happiest season of all. Not for everybody.
That's true.
And we're going to talk about that this week. It's not for everybody. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Sure. But there is another experience of Christmas that can lead people to be blue. Jesus came to address that as well, and I obviously I want to talk about that. But it's going to be a little different than what some people may anticipate. We're going to look at two passages this Sunday. One is very well known and beloved in the whole Christmas narrative. The other one is not well known at all, and you're going to think that doesn't even sound like it should be there. That doesn't sound like it fits to the warm, fuzzy Christmas story that we all love. But it definitely is, and there's a key reason for that, and that's a reality that Jesus came to redeem.
I'm excited about it, Pastor John, and want to give a shout out. Our worship and production team just kicked it off really well this past weekend, both campuses, and they'll carry that throughout this series. They came out and did the song, Do You Hear What I Hear?
Yep.
And so just really leans into the music side of Christmas.
We're all excited to see who's going to do Blue Christmas out of Popkin Lake County.
Not it. I call it not it.
We're excited to see who that's going to be.
Yes, it's good. And so I want to encourage you to tune in or to come to one of the campuses. I think you and your family will be blessed.
I do think as we kind of talk about the theme of Blue Christmas, part of what makes Christmas blue is a loss. And if you've experienced a death, and this year we've had some folks that have experienced death, some related to COVID, but a lot just in general life, people that have passed. Harvey, you've done a lot of work with funeral ministry over the years. I don't know if anybody's done more funerals than you. I had one other staff member in Canton, an older gentleman, and he did a lot of funerals as well. But it's just something that you have a gift for. I tell people, Harvey's gifted at doing funeral sermons, and people are like, I'm not sure. I said, well, if you ever heard Harvey do a funeral,
You get it.
You get it. I mean, you just have a gift for that. And I know you got a lot of experience in doing that, but out of your experiences, it's kind of helped us form a kind of a funeral ministry.
That's right. We have kind of put a focus on helping folks through loss. And probably the main focus there would be our Griefshare ministry.
Yeah, right.
We've developed a Griefshare ministry that we've had it for 4 or 5 years now, and it has really, met people where they are in their loss and brought people through their grief and helped them to learn to cope better with their grief. You never really get past grief. You always carry it with you, but you do learn to cope better with it. You do learn how to manage it a little bit better, and that's what Griefshare really helps people to do. Is if your heart is broken and your world is upside down, and especially in the holidays,
exactly. This time of year accentuates that.
It really does. And we just recently offered a one-day seminar called it was how to get through the holidays, and it was a one-day online.
Did Shelley help you with that one?
Shelley led that one. Shelley and Steve led that.
Yeah. The Smelskys, right?
Yes, and they lead our Griefshare ministry and do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
And so that's really our main focus on trying to help people through grief is Griefshare. And we're in that period of time now where we're sort of in a break between the end of Griefshare from this past year and the beginning of next year. So it kicks back up in February the 7th. In fact, we'll start a brand new series. It's about a 10 or 15 weeks of Griefshare where people can come in and find the help and support and the love and the understanding that they're looking for.
One of the things that you're going to be doing, and you said several times, is kind of a community service just to help grieving families that have lost folks this year at Highland Memorial.
Highland Memory Gardens.
Highland Memory Garden here in Apopka.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So every year they have, this is their 10th year, in fact, to have sort of a community service, and it's a service of remembrance, they call it. The entire community of Apopka's invited. Many folks who have loved ones who are laid to rest there in Highland Memory Gardens come, but other people come as well. They have a program, they do some candle lighting, and fortunately they've asked me to speak a few years here in a row, and so I always take the opportunity to go and share, the gospel and just try to bring comfort to folks who are hurting and talk about a blue Christmas. A lot of these folks are experiencing a blue Christmas, and so it's good to be able to bring a little hope and a little joy back into their lives through the gospel.
Yeah, the gospel, or one of the verses in the Bible says to rejoice with those who rejoice and to mourn with those who mourn. And maybe you're not mourning the loss of someone, but maybe you know a neighbor or loved one that can just use maybe a meal at your house this holiday season because their home's empty, or maybe it's inviting them over on Christmas Eve or inviting them to church. Whatever it is, let's not forget about those that are hurting in our community. That's good. Absolutely. You have a gift for that.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing we've recently developed is a follow-up program. It seems like at the end of this past year with COVID and so many other things going on, we did have quite a few funerals that took place right here at Journey.
Yep.
And we developed a follow-up program because we felt like it's not enough just to minister to someone during the service, but what happens after the service when they go home, when now all of a sudden, everybody goes back to work and the world gets quieter around them. What do we do? And so we've developed a sort of a follow-up program with a phone call, a gift card, and just a way to follow up and really reach back out to them, see how they're doing, a visitation.
Part of that too is, as we all know, with when you have someone that dies, there's such a strong support system that rallies to you initially.
Yes.
So, and depending on the circumstances, they can be quite intense.
Yes.
In fact, it can wear you out. Yeah. But then as days, weeks, months go by and everybody goes back to life, everybody goes back to normal, that's really the value of something like that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we have the right people in place to do something like that. Shelley Smelsky leads that ministry, and of course, she understands grief to the extent that many people do not because of the loss of her son. So she really has a heart for this, and we're excited to have her lead that ministry.
Also, a great help on your team is Chandra.
She is.
Yep. Chandra helps lead a lot of, she's that first contact a lot of times with funerals.
She often is that first contact, and oftentimes too, she's the host here when we host a funeral here. She's here to host the families and just make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah.
She does a great job
with
that
too. She does a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you need some more information about that, feel free to reach out to Pastor Harvey. Also Shelly Smelsky that we've had on here before. And by the way, the Jordan Smelsky Sporting Goods store is this weekend. So it's Saturday and Sunday happening this weekend.
Yep.
And that's a free sporting goods giveaway to families that need some help.
Yep.
Getting that
really great event.
It's a great event, and it's going to be held at an old Walgreens off of 436 in Apopka. I don't know if that's Altamont Springs, maybe Altamont Springs.
Right in between.
It's right on the edge of that. But you can contact the church to find out. You may know a family that they give away a bike every hour or two every hour, and they give away just a lot of cool stuff. And thank you, Journey family, for helping make that possible. You've been very invested in that, and so thank you for that. Also this weekend, Jingle Jam.
Jingle Jam. That's a big one.
It's a big weekend.
This is the party big
and
enough
food
for the
life.
whole family.
I mean, we'll get to that in a moment. But so Friday night we got Jingle Jam here at Apopka.
In Apopka.
Yeah, and then Saturday night out at Lake County. We got Jingle Jam.
Which God is doing great things in Lake County. It's awesome. And I'm excited for Jingle Jam 2021 in Lake County. It's going to be great here in Apopka. We do say it's the party big enough for the whole family.
Yeah.
And so
whether you have kids or not.
Yeah, whether you have kids or not. Just come on out. It's for
fun.
Anybody and everybody.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a fun-filled event. There's going to be hundreds of people. And one of the things we like is it's an easy invite to get people to church. It's just an easy invite. And so don't come alone. Invite a friend, invite a neighbor. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, so that's this Friday night at Apopka, 7 p.m., Lake County, 7 p.m. And then I mentioned Food for Life. That's our food distribution. And this is the biggest Food for Life distribution we'll do all year.
Yeah,
it
really is. It really is. So that's going to be this Saturday morning from 7:30 to 11:30.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's the biggest one all year. So we'll have a number of folks from the community come by. We give them food. We have Christmas gifts for the children.
Right.
And it's just a great event to reach out to the community, bless people, and just show our support and love for others.
Yeah. It's really good.
Well, so those are just some of the things we wanted to share with you, Pastor
Harvey. A lot going
Harvey.
on just in 1 week.
Amen.
We got
from Light Up Journey, the new sermon series last week, and now continuing on this week. There's a lot happening. And don't forget our Christmas Eve services at Apopka 3, 4:30, and 6, and at Lake County at 4:30 and 6. And if you're online, and so many of you are, as Pastor Harvey knows, you can join us at 3, 4:30, or 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve. And I want to make sure we start saying on a regular basis, the December 26th will be online only.
Online only,
So
yes.
December 26th, that's Sunday, which is just 2 days after all these big Christmas Eve services, it is online only, and even more important to just be aware of what's going on in our online ministry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, join us for that.
All right, thank you for joining us this week. Thanks, Harvey, for joining us. Pastor Dustin,
Yes, sir.
as always. And as always, we're loving the journey.